Some spots are perfect places to indulge in those weird and wonderful interests in the otherworldly. Others will have you jumping out of your skin, and some are just awesome places to travel to. While everything you're about to see promises mystery by the bucket load, before we get into the video, if you're new to our channel, hit the subscribe button, turn on them notifications, and join the family. Number 10. Rashat Structure, Mauritania. Seemingly swirling and spinning and twisting like a cyclone through the heart of a mighty Sahara desert is the Great Rashat Structure in the depths of the Mauritania is something truly mysterious. Although you'll certainly have to take the skies to see it. Scientists have been puzzled for years as to how the perfect circular set of concentric rings have got there. The Rashat structure contains more than 32 carbonatite dikes, which are 1 to 4 meters wide and 300 meters long. According to the researchers, the carbonatite rocks in the Rashat structure date back to 104 million years ago. In the northern part of the giant eye, scientists have found a kimberlitic plug that's believed to be 99 million years old. Some think it was an asteroid impact in centuries gone by. Others say it was a simple process of natural geological attrition and erosion. One of these theories regarding the Rashat structure is that it represents the lost city of Atlantis described by Plato in his works. Plato described the mysterious island and circular piece divided into circles of both water and land. According to Plato, there were 3 circles of water and 2 of land. He positioned the Atlantis as a landmark lying in front of the Pillars of Hercule. And then, of course, some think it was the creation of extraterrestrials who passed this way, marked by a landing point for future visits to Earth. Number 9. Easter Island, Polynesia. Hundreds of years ago, a small group of Polynesians rowed their wooden outrigger canoes across vast stretches of the open sea. Navigating by the evening stars and the day's ocean swells, when and why these people left their native land remains a mystery. But what is clear is that they made a small uninhabited island with rolling hills and lush carpet of palm trees their new home, eventually naming their 63 square miles of paradise Rupa Nui, now popularly known as Easter Island. It was just at the turn of the first millennium AD that the Rupa Nui peoples of eastern Polynesia landed and began surveying the wind-blasted shores of Easter Island. Of course, it wasn't called Easter Island then. The name is a later European addition, courtesy of Dutchman Jacob Roggeveen, who happened upon the island in 1722. What he discovered would have surely wowed him. Countless carved colossal heads, chiseled in chips from the black rock boulders of the land. There are now more than 880 of the so-called Moai heads here, which are each thought to represent a final member of the one tribal family clans. Number 8. Highgate Cemetery, England. If you choose to navigate the crawling vines and the ivy shoots, looming oak trees, and the lichen-spotted tombstones of London's Highgate Cemetery, then beware. This is considered to be by many the single most haunted place in the United Kingdom. The setting is certainly enough to curdle the blood, with age-old angelic figures hiding amidst the shadow growth, gargoyles laughing from the crevices, and the endless rows of tombs running into the distance. And then there are the spirits who appear with such frequently that the locals have named them. There is the mad old woman, a spirit that is often seen running frantically among the graves, her long gray hair streaming behind her. According to the legend, she is looking for the children she murdered in a fit of rage. Then there's the shrouded figure, a Moor specter that is usually seen staring up at the sky. If you approach her too quickly, she will disappear, only to reappear a few meters away. Obviously, because you're going to catch a ghost. Less frequently seen, but more menacing, is the devil ghoul. He is a ghost with a set of piercing red eyes and a habit of vanishing in direct light. Number 7. The Tower of London, London. Sticking on the list for London. The tower has been a visitor attraction since the 18th century, but the number of tourists increased dramatically in the 1800s. Visitors were fascinated by the stories of England's turbulent and sometimes gruesome history. Stories of the ghost haunt the tower. Anne Boleyn is said to stalk the site of her execution on Tower Green. Arabella Stuart, the cousin of Elizabeth I, who starved while under arrest for marrying without royal permission, is said to frequent the Queen's house still. Two smaller ghosts are thought to be the princes of the tower, and the yeoman warders even tell a chilling tale of a huge bear who occasionally appears to frighten visitors to death. Number 6. The Skirid Mountain Inn, Wales. Popular legend is that the inn was used for a rallying point for local supporters of the Welsh revolt against the rule of Henry IV. The uprising being led by Owen Glyndwr. He is said to have personally rallied his troops in the cobbled courtyard before raiding nearby settlements sympathetic to the English in the 15th century. However, given that the inn wasn't built until the 17th century, the story should be taken with a pinch of salt. Another undocumented claim to fame is that the first floor of the inn was reportedly used as a court of law where capital punishment was imposed for certain offenses, including sheep stealing, which I can't believe people would even think of doing. Legend has it that many as 180 criminals were adjudged guilty of crimes serious enough to warrant sentences by death. A sentence that was allegedly carried out in the inn itself from an oak beam over the well of the staircase. Markings said to be from the rope marks still exist on the staircase wood. Number 5. The Nazca Lines, Peru. Scarring their way across the dusty desert landscapes of southern Peru, the Nazca Lines are among the most mysterious and awesome prehistoric remains in all of South America. And while they typically take a back seat to the country's other major tourist draws, Machu Picchu, the Sacred Valley, and Cusco, they do draw their own fair share of visitors. Most opt to do flyovers and see the great wonders from above, which is when the curious geoglyphs depicting spiders and monkeys come into full view. Now a UNESCO World Heritage Site, no one really knows why they were made by ancient Nazca people. Perhaps they were an offering to the gods, perhaps they're a cultist symbol. It's still a mystery. Number 4. Pyramids of Giza. The pyramids of Giza will always be a source of wonder and bafflement, and because of that, it is one of the most mysterious places on our list. The pyramids have been shrouded in questions ever since the day that they were discovered. The plethora of unsolved mysteries exist about the inside of the pyramid. For centuries, people have wondered about, explored, and studied how the pyramids were built with such limited materials and without the use of modern technology. Let's not forget the pyramids date back 4,000 years. So how something so durable, huge, strong, and precise could have been built has us thinking a bit. Did the slaves build it? Did the aliens do it? Were the ancient Egyptians as advanced as we are today? But that's not where it stops. I'll hit you with a few more Giza mysteries. There is a major belief that the pyramids of Giza, specifically the Great Pyramid of Giza, were built as tombs for the rulers of wealthy people, which would make sense, except there have been absolutely no mummies found in the pyramid. Number 3. Transylvania Romania. Bordered to the east by the Carpathian Mountains, the land beyond the forest still feels undiscovered. So pack your garlic. Here's to the lowdown one on Eastern Europe's most captivating regions. Sylvan Hills is the midst-topped mountains, the clanging echo of church bells, and the stone-built medieval steeples of towns like Sibiu, Brasov, and Kul all add to the eerie atmosphere of this vast region of the heart of Romania. But it's one place that brings the chills and gets the spine a-tingling: Bran Castle. Over the years, it's been associated with several less than savory, uber-mysterious figures: Vlad the Impaler, the most bloodthirsty of the Wallachian kings, and of course, Count Dracula, the archetype of the nail-biting Nosferatu. While it's hard to avoid the creepy Count, you also find hardwood forests, lush pastures, and wildflower meadows. Number 2. Banff Springs Hotel, Canada. With the overtures of the Timberline Lodge of Stephen King and Stanley Kubrick's The Shining fame, the Banff Springs Hotel of Canada is said to be the home of the plethora of ghost stories and mysterious happenings. Locals tell tales of an entire family that was murdered in cold blood in room 873. Others talk of the reappearing doorman who vanishes into thin air. But if you think you can deal with a supernatural rep, then you're in for a real treat here. Sometimes a young child walks the halls, lost and alone. Because of the nature of the paranormal activity, the hotel has permanently barricaded the room. You can literally walk down the hallway. It goes 871, 872, 874. What? And coming in at number 1, the Bermuda Triangle in the Atlantic Ocean. Tales of lost mariners and disappeared ships, crashed aircraft, and even vanishing humans have been emerged from the waters of the Bermuda Triangle for centuries. The vast area of more than 500,000 square miles is also known as the Devil's Triangle, and theories as to why so many travelers fall foul to its crutches abound. The incident, resulting in the single largest loss of life in the history of the U.S. Navy, not related to combat, occurred when the collier Cyclops, carrying a full load of manganese ore and with one engine out of action, went missing without a trace after departing the island of the Barbados. Although there is no strong evidence for any single theory, many independent theorists exist, some blaming storms, some blaming capsizing, and some suggesting that wartime enemy activity was to blame for the loss. Besides, 2 of the Cyclops' sister ships, Proteus and Nereus, were subsequently lost in the North Atlantic during World War II. Both ships were transporting heavy loads of metallic ore, similar to that of which was loaded on the Cyclops during her fatal voyage. In all 3 cases, structural failure due to overloading with much denser cargo than designed is considered the most likely cause of the sinking. Some say there are magnetic anomalies that throw the compasses off course. Others say tropical cyclones are to blame, and some say there's simply no mystery at all. Today, visiting the area can be much more pleasant than you think, with the sun-splashed islands of the Turks and Caicos beckoning on the south of the coves of Bermuda in the north. You may never want to be seen again. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Remember to send some positive vibes, and please subscribe. And remember, go ahead and give us some comments. Let us know what kind of videos you want to see in the future.